everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anne's Forensic Classroom. So far in our crime scene management series, we have covered photography and videography under the fourth S, which is see the scene. We talked about how investigators document a crime scene through photographs and videos. We talked about how to capture important details, camera angles, movement, and how visual documentation helps preserve the scene exactly as it was found. And now we have reached the final part of See the Scene chapter. We will be talking about crime scene note taking. Now, this is one of the most important skills in crime scene investigation. So in today's video, we will understand what crime scene note taking is, why is it important, and what details should be included in notes. Now let's start with the basics. What exactly are crime scene notes? Now, crime scene notes are the permanent written record of everything that an investigator observes, everything they do, and everything they document at a crime scene. And the most important part is they are written while the investigation is happening, not later from memory, not after reaching the lab, or not hours later. It is written right then and there, right? It is written in real time. There's actually a term for this, which is contemporaneous notes. Now, it simply means that notes are written at the time the events are taking place. And trust me, this word becomes very important in court because contemporaneous notes are considered far more reliable than something written later from memory. Now, the biggest question is, why are crime scene notes so important? And honestly, there are many reasons, but let's focus on the six major ones. And once you understand these, you will realize why investigators take note taking so seriously. So the first one is permanent record. Now, crime scene notes create a permanent record of the investigation. Now, you can think of this that cameras can fail, or your batteries can die, and digital files can also get corrupted or lost sometimes. But if you have a properly maintained notebook, which is dated and signed, it becomes an official legal document that investigators can always refer back to. And that's exactly why many investigators still prefer carrying physical notebooks at the crime scene. The second one is memory refreshment. Now imagine investigating a crime scene today, okay, but the trial happens somewhere 2 years later. Right? Now, do you really think anyone can remember every tiny detail after that long? Probably not. And that's where notes become important. An investigator can simply open the notebook and they can refresh their memory, what they saw or where the evidence was found and what time they arrived and what actions were taken. The third one is court testimony. Now in court, witnesses usually cannot just stand there and read from papers while answering questions. But there is one major exception. They are allowed to refer to their own contemporaneous notes to refresh their memory. That means the notes that are written by the investigator at the time of investigation can actually be used inside the courtroom, and that makes proper note taking extremely valuable. The fourth one is scene reconstruction. Now think about this. What if an appeal happens 3 years later, okay? Or you have another forensic expert that needs to review the case. So someone may need to reconstruct the entire crime scene again. At that point, the notes become the blueprint of that investigation. They will help explain how the scene looked or where the items were present, what investigators observed, and what sequence of events took place. Now, without proper notes, reconstruction becomes much more difficult and sometimes inaccurate. The fifth one is it supports photos and sketches. Now, a lot of students think photographs alone are enough, but they're not. Photos can show where something was, and sketches can show you the distances and positions. But notes can explain what happened, what investigators observed, and why certain decisions were made. So these methods are not replacing each other, they actually work together. And the sixth one is it maintains investigative accuracy. So, notes help maintain accuracy throughout the investigation. These basically include things like who collected the evidence, when was it collected, how it was packaged, and who handled it afterward. Now, this becomes very important for maintaining the chain of custody, because if even one detail is missing, defense lawyers can question the handling of evidence in court. Now, just writing notes is not enough. The real question is what actually makes crime scene notes good and reliable? Because messy, incomplete, or confusing notes can actually weaken an investigation instead of helping it. Now, there are five important characteristics of good crime scene notes. The first one is chronological. Your note should always be written in the exact order in which the events have happened. Do not rearrange details later to make them look better. If you found a shell casing after examining the body, then that is the order in which it should appear in your notes. Crime scene notes should create a proper timeline of the investigation, because in court, sequence matters a lot. The second one is objective. Your notes should contain observations, not assumptions or your personal opinions. For example, if you see a red stain at the crime scene, please write a red colored stain was observed. Do not immediately write blood stain, because until laboratory analysis confirms it, you cannot scientifically say it is blood. Similarly, you have to avoid phrases like I think, maybe, probably, or it looked like, because in forensic science, objectivity is extremely important. The third one is accurate. Your notes should be precise and specific. You should avoid vague descriptions. Now, instead of writing knife found near the door, write something which is more accurate, like the knife recovered approximately zero point 0.5 meters from the east wall and 1.2 meters from the door frame. Now, exact measurements, exact locations, and exact descriptions make investigations much stronger. The fourth one is legible. Now, this sounds very simple, but it matters a lot. If your handwriting is impossible to read, your notes become useless. Imagine a judge or another investigator or even your own colleague trying to read your notebook and not understanding anything. uh, that creates problems for everyone. So write clearly and honestly, if needed, write in block letters. This is not the place for decorative handwriting. Clarity is more important than your style. The fifth one is detailed and permanent. Now, finally, your notes should be detailed and permanently recorded. Include all the important observations and investigative actions, even small details. Ideally, you should use a bound notebook. You should number the pages and you should use permanent ink and avoid loose sheets of paper, because loose papers can get lost, damaged, or even questioned in the court of law. So we're going to stop here for today because I don't want to rush this topic. Crime scene note taking may sound simple at first, but in reality, it's one of the most important parts of crime scene documentation. A small mistake in notes can create huge problems later in court. And honestly, I feel this next part deserves proper time and attention. So in the next video, we are going to continue this topic and focus completely on how to write good notes, like an actual crime scene investigator. So basically, by the end of the next video, you should be able to look at a crime scene and know exactly what needs to be written down. So don't skip the next part because the topic builds layer by layer. And if you have enjoyed this video, then you already know the drill. Like the video, share it with your forensic science friends, and subscribe to Ainan's Forensic Classroom so that you don't miss the continuation of the series. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.